Hi, it's me, Evan, TRPG Richmond. This episode, I want to explore this story so far. It's arguable what constitutes the main story in Final Fantasy XI, but for now we'll cover the nation missions of Sandoria, because that's the closest thing to a story I've encountered. Mission 1-1, Smash the Orcish Scouts. In this first mission, we are tasked with killing orcs until you recover one of their axes. The opening cutscene of Final Fantasy XI showed the threat of the Beastmen, and I suppose this mission gets across the threat of their uneasy encroachment. How the weakest orcs made it so far? Altana only knows. This is when we are introduced to Roche-Fogny, who might be the actual main character of Final Fantasy XI. Mission 1-2, Bat Hunt. Second mission in, and we see the lack of clear communication in quest objectives. Hunting bats is clear, but, quote, proof of your deeds, end quote, and where King Ranpir's tomb is, as mentioned in Part 2, is not. You need orcish male scales. That's fun to say. You need orcish male scales dropped by dingbats that spawn at a specific time. I can imagine when the game was new that exploring for the tomb before it was on a wiki could have been fun. Now, not so much. We touch a tombstone and Roche-Fogny appears. He's searching for a sword, assumedly Dragon King Ranpir's sword. An elf named Vodaram appears to silence Roche-Fogny's digression. Mission 1-3, Save the Children. We go to the cathedral and talk to Arnau about a missing friar named Teddymount, whom is feared was kidnapped by orcs while gathering herbs. Papsk, Shamandi, and Prince Piji strut in and posit a non-orc theory, per Teddymount's disappearance. Perhaps an extended hike, Shamandi says, and reminds the group that Temple Knights have to wait 48 hours to file a missing friar report. Prince Piji tasks us to a recon mission to infiltrate Gelsba and find a small hut somewhere. With those precise instructions, we find the hut and are ambushed by Fodder Chief Vokdek, but defeat him. The other prince, Tryon, appears, throws a mountain of shade on his brother, and assists us in our quest by opening a door. He takes Teddymount back to the cathedral, and we meet Teddy thereafter. Shamandi is revealed to be evil. Why he would want Teddy to be murdered by orcs, I still don't know. Mission 2-1, The Rescue Drill. I covered this mission thoroughly. In Part 2, check out minute mark 14 for a summary, but nothing important happens, so you can skip it. Mission 2-2, The Devoy Report. Certain missions can be skipped by donating enough crystals to boost your rank, and this is one of those missions. Makes me question its essentiality, but I did it, so let's cover it. A Temple Knight has been scouting an orc stronghold in Devoy for weaknesses in their defenses. We are tasked with bringing back the scout's report. We find Xantaviet, Xanta for short, and he says the orcs are planning something. He references Prince Piju, who we will call Peepee for short, and says he was right all along. The report we need was dropped, so we have to retrieve it. If you'd like to see me retrieve it, I will refer you again to Part 2 around the 16-minute mark. After that, we deliver it to Peepee. Before that, though, we eavesdrop some hot PP Shamandi convo about orc negotiations and opening the, quote, gates of paradise. Not suspicious at all. Mission 2-3, Journey Abroad. Yay! We get to enter the chateau. Halvor tells us to get our butts to Bastok and Winders to gauge the beastmen threats in those other nations. You can choose either, so to Bastok we go. Our embassy reports Bastok has a Quadov problem. It seems each nation gets its own unique flavor of beastmen. Sandoria has orcs. Bastok has Quadov, which are bipedal turtle-like peeps. And Windurst have to deal with the Yagudo, bird beastmen that I don't know much about yet. Anyways, the Quadov have taken the Palburo mines from Bastok, and there are hints that a beastmen leader is rallying the disparate tribes together. Our mission, to take a sample of mithril from the mines as to understand the advanced technology of Bastok. After okaying the mission with a Bastok representative, a girl named Lion reveals the mines were originally the Quadoth's Holy Land. We get the mithril, report to the consulate, and venture to Windurst. At Windurst, we are charged with exterminating a giant monster in Gideus for the Yagudo. Apparently the Windurstians and the Yagudo have an uneasy alliance. We make our way to the monster to find the Searcher. He claims to be the leader of the Beastmen. He summons a dragon. They both fall to our skills. As the Searcher dies in disbelief, he reveals he wasn't the real big bad, but merely the mozzarella sticks to the Applebee's Cheeto-dusted boneless wings entree that is the Shadow Lord. The great hero who saved Vanadil 20 years ago is gone, so nothing can stop the Shadow Lord now. We go back to Sandoria and deliver the bad news to Halver. Mission 3-1, infiltrate Devoy. Prince Treon wants a word with us. He's so dreamy. He wants us to get another report from Devoy. Deja vu. Beja du. Another glimpse of Roche and Vod. Roche talks more about a sword. We got the report from Quimarkand and take it back to Prince Treon. He agrees that he needs his brother's knight's assistance and ends the conversation. Mission 3-2, the Crystal Spring. Another skippable mission, but I did do it, sort of, so we'll cover it. My rod kept breaking, so I might have bought the fish instead of, catching it, but anyway, we traded in and are told the chateau has been visited by bandits. Halver and Curilla discuss the odd nature of the break-in. Nothing has been stolen, apparently. The gardener, though, reports the bandits were 2 Elvan. Is it Roche and Vod? Shamandi bursts in, intent on learning what was taken and acting as not evil as usual. We keep questioning the gardener. He mentions blue armor on one of the Elvan. Clady, the princess, I presume, wanders in. She says her mother's diary is out of place before asking the gardener to come to her chamber later. Mayhaps to come in her chamber later. Mission 3-3, appointment to Juno. Welcome to the worst mission so far, by far. Halver tells us it's time for us to meet His Majesty, Royaulius Destin himself. Destin gives us a letter of introduction and tells us to depart for Juno. At Juno, we are told the ambassador we're supposed to meet is at Delkfut's tower, but should be back soon. The ambassador's doctor drops off to perform a checkup due to the ambassador's rare, non-contagious disease. Not concerning at all. The ambassador's assistant says, wouldn't hurt for you to do a checkup of the Delkfut's tower and see the progress of the ambassador's mission. After hours of navigating the bland and repetitive tower that is brain-pinching to navigate, even with the assistance of the wiki, we find the ambassador and escort her to safety. She had been imprisoned after being hit in the back of the head. Mission 4-1, Magicite. The embassy, per the Archduke of Juno, wants we, to investigate the mysterious stones called Magicite in the 3 Beastmen-controlled zones of Devoy, you guessed it, Boudou, and Castle Ostroja. After touching the first Magicite, we're struck with a vision. An Elvan, Frank Mage, is being sent by King Destin to accompany a party who are investigating a northern wasteland. The mention of a newly taken queen and heir cooking in the oven gives us the impression that this is a flashback. The vision follows Frank Mage to the icy wastes of Zarkabard. Frank Mage is told by a Hume, Ulrich, that 2 other party members, Raugrim and Cornelia, were attacked and fell into a crevasse. They search, but fail to find the missing duo. Next, we see Frank in an underground tunnel. He leaves the scene, but we can hear him speak of Raogrim before another Elven probably finds him dead. Then a vision of Raogrim with Ulrich. Raogrim seems to be the only one who has any empathy for the Quadov that are being murdered. This vision is followed by another, where Ulrich, revealing his Galka racism, thrusts his sword into Raogrim. But no, wait! Cornelia, a Hume, uses her torso as a shield. Railgrim mourns her corpse. Then we are whisked away to a Taru in Windurst. Speaking of summoning, the Windurst Oristary minister, Ajido Marujido, with a sphere of protection, makes his way to a Yagudo avatar. The minister inquires about a full moon fountain. The Yagudo says the fountain is linked to towers. Towers activated by the Taru that are draining magic out of the land. The minister suggests the Yagudo and their digging of magical stones are the cause of the land's malady. The Yagudo insists, though, Windurst, no, yes, maybe, is responsible for unleashing the misery of the land. Then a vision. It looks like Heaven's Tower. A Taru, Star Sibyl, appears to be asking for guidance. A mysterious figure appears, then bam! We're back to the site of the last magicite. Lion appears. Then the Shadow of Darkness. The Shadow of Darkness says a bunch of stuff that sounds like, Pandora's box and shit. And then we bring the 3 magicite samples back to the Juno Archduke. Another stone, the 4th, beneath Castle Zvahal, could cause the return of the Shadow Lord if united with the other 3. During the conversation, we are told the 3 nations have been attacked. Right after we were just told the nations all had talismans that were supposed to seal that last stone that was sealing, the Shadow Lord. That sucks. The Archduke's brother also might be psychic. Mission 5-1, the Runes of Fey. At Sandoria, a conversation between Destin and Corilla reveals the talisman used to keep the Shadow Lord imprisoned has been stolen. Yeah, we kind of knew that. Halvar sends you to the Bosidine Glacier. He also tells you 30 years ago, an expedition was sent there to uncover the secret of an advanced ancient civilization. The civilization was known as the Zillart. That expedition didn't go so well. Once arriving at Fey Yin, Lion and a Galka named Zaid gives more detail on the failed expedition. Apparently they all died. 2 during the expedition, the rest violently after returning back from it, as if cursed. After a big battle with a lot of skeletons, Zaid says the seals have been broken for some time, and that our new one is useless. Then we go back to Zandoria, where Prince Trion wants to deploy a strong assault on the Northland. So that was my first month with Final Fantasy XI. So now you are caught up on the story. Obviously I did other things, side quests and chocobo and grinding and, stuff, exploring. But that gives you a good idea of what I would consider the through line so far. It's definitely gotten better in the last few missions with the flashbacks, because there's been some actual, stuff happening. But overall, I'm still not 100% sold on this being a legitimate, Final Fantasy story. But there's still lots of time. This week's enjoyment, I'm going to give it, because I'm enjoying the story more, and it's actually going in some sort of direction. I'm gonna give it 7.1. Munich, the Edge of War. What the fuck? Some random dancing dude named Matt is gonna raise my level cap. Okay. Rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you.